Welcome to Weekend News. My name is Pilar Davis, and I just want to tackle a couple of the hot stories that have been in the news recently. President Barack Obama was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, and it makes him only the third sitting U.S. president to be honored in that way. To give it a little perspective, the last sitting president to win the Nobel Peace Prize was President Wilson in 1919. So this is a pretty big honor. Other presidents, and Vice President Gore is probably one of the more noteworthy of late, have won the award, just not while they were actually in the White House. I actually believe that the Nobel Peace Prize is more about peace than it is about whether you did a specific task. During his acceptance speech, or you could call it an acceptance speech, he addressed America and addressed the Nobel Peace Prize Committee and thanked them, obviously, for the honor, but he himself said that he didn't think he was worthy of it.
I am both surprised and deeply humbled by the decision of the Nobel Committee. Let me be clear, I do not view it as a recognition of my own accomplishments, but rather as an affirmation of American leadership on behalf of aspirations held by people in all nations. To be honest, I do not feel that I deserve to be in the company of so many of the transformative figures who've been honored by this prize. Men and women who've inspired me and inspired the entire world through their courageous pursuit of peace.
Many Nobel Peace Prize recipients have said that exact same thing. Many feel that they haven't warranted it for whatever reason. I think the type of person who wins the Nobel Peace Prize is also the type of person that feels like whatever they've done is not enough. Being that I am overseas in Okinawa, Japan, I can say that I saw firsthand the miraculous effect that then Senator Obama had on the world as a whole. It left the borders of America and it swept throughout the entire globe. There were many Okinawa nationals here that were mesmerized and just in love with Obama. And had they the chance, they certainly would have voted for him. They were very happy for Americans, and they were happy to have been a part, if even in some small way, just globally, be a part of a day where he was elected president. We saw pictures, we saw video of people all over the earth excited about President Obama that will likely never meet him, and will probably never have any real measure of his effect on their lives personally. And yet, somehow, it changed the way people felt. It made, as the first President Bush said, a kinder, gentler, and it went outside of nation. People were nicer to each other. People had a spirit of hope that if you could bottle, that's not easy to do. And he did that. And so I firmly believe that if anybody deserves a prize or recognition about bringing some type of universal peace and harmony, President Barack Obama has done that hands down. He did something that we rarely see, and many of us probably will never see in our lifetimes. Also in politics, President Obama was being pushed heavily to increase the number of troops in Afghanistan, and most proponents wanted somewhere in the vicinity of 40,000. President Obama met them sort of halfway, not quite halfway, maybe a third of the way, and he agreed to allow 13,000 more troops. Now, this is the type of decision that can always be revisited, and likely is being revisited and will continue to be revisited, and as things change and as he sees things differently or as he gets more information, that number could change. But right now, he's sent 13,000 more troops, although they say that these aren't sort of the standard image of ground troops. These aren't combat troops. These are more administrative people in the military, which, being a military spouse, I see firsthand that those types of things they're crucial. If you don't have food, if you don't have clean water, if you don't have supplies and equipment, then the game is over. So you definitely need those things, and they are imperative in every region of the world that we are in any type of military capacity. we need those things. So I was glad to see that. I'm kind of on the fence about sending more troops. I definitely disagree with the notion and the idea that many have stated that he is unwilling, he's afraid somehow, or he's reluctant because he's, he doesn't have the stomach to send young men and women off to Afghanistan. I don't think that a man who attains the position he has attained, but more than that, put his life on the line in a way that no other president, no other U.S. president has ever had to do. The fact that he attained what he attained and became the man that he became, I doubt he has a great deal of fear about anything. I suspect that he would do whatever he had to do to protect this country, and he's always going to do what he feels is right. And only time will tell. So that was politics. Sort of in a political way, Mrs. Obama, First Lady Obama, was also in the news recently during a White House event promoting healthful living. She showed off her hula hooping skills. People were quite impressed with the First Lady, who hula hooped 142 times. I can't do it. Maybe 5 or 6, but 142. So she is in great shape, and that sends a great message to the children in our country that the First Lady's in shape. It's an important thing. It's something that you need to make a part of your life and a standard part of your life. And I thought it was great. I thought it was pretty funny, and it was pretty encouraging.
First Lady Michelle Obama did her best impression of pop singer Shakira on the White House lawn. After a hard day of hula hooping, the First Lady tried her hand at a little jump rope too.
We had some rather odd news. I don't know what category to put this in. It's entertainment, but it's news and it's weird. We had a man named Richard Henney in the news. He and his wife Mayumi called authorities, saying that their son was trapped in a floating UFO-type balloon. And it was, I guess, some type of weather recording apparatus, and he was trapped in it, floating over the world. And anybody in any police organization, all of the news programs, Joe Blow on the street, everybody was trying to help find out if this little boy was in the balloon. Well, turns out it was a hoax. The little boy spilled the beans on accident, as children will do. When asked why he didn't come, when he was later found in his family's attic, and he was asked why he didn't come when he heard his parents calling him, and he said because Dad said we were doing this to get on television.
You guys said that we did this for the show.
Gotta love the children. Well, thank you for joining me for another episode of Weekend News. That's going to be it for me for today. Check back soon, and I hope you have a great week. Thanks.